Paperwork.
Let's start again. Good morning, Mickey. Today is the 25th of April, 2020. We're over here. What's this building over here?
This is our local high school, Dr. Henry A. Wise Jr.
Who is Dr. Henry A. Wise?
He was a designated original Tuskegee Airman.
He was documented.
Documented, I'm sorry.
Original Tuskegee Airman. And a daughter. And are you a member of the organization?
Yes, I am. I'm a member of the East Coast chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen.
And what is the mission?
Our mission is to educate those in our community about the exploits of the Tuskegee Airmen and to overall bolster our community, both black and non, just simply to foster a better community sense as a whole and better people through any way we can.
What is the education aspect of that mission?
So our chapter offers a variety of scholarships to students, as well as our youth and aviation program, which we're very proud of, which has helped multiple children over,
20 years.
20 years, right before even my father and I's involvement, achieve pilot's license, designated flight hours, and educating them on aerospace as a whole.
Outstanding. So tell us about your years. So when did you attend Wise over here? And Wise, who was Henry? He was an airman.
Right.
And there are two schools in the county named after airmen. What's the other one?
The other one is Herbert Flowers.
Yeah, Charles Herbert Flowers.
Charles Herbert Flowers. And the other one is...
That's it.
Oh,
Charles Herbert Flowers and Wise. Yeah.
Right.
So what was it like? So you started here in what year?
I started here in the fall of 2013 as I graduated from middle school at St. Mary's of the Assumption earlier that year before the summer, and I finished the spring of 2017.
Outstanding. And where are you now a student?
I'm currently enrolled as a student at Bowie State University in Bowie, Maryland, in my third year studying biology with a focus in psychology, as that's the field I hope to go into.
Yes. Of course, you knew your dad wants you to be a neuroscientist. Why does Dad want you to be a neuroscientist as opposed to just a psychologist?
Well, my father believes that neuroscience is the way of the future. It's more applicable to things like artificial intelligence, as well as more medical beneficial aspects, such as like pharmaceuticals, which is true. I have taken two at this point neuroscience classes. One that's on physiological psychology being the predominant one, taught by Dr. Bryant.
Okay. What has it been like at Bowie State University?
Bowie State University, in terms of higher education or collegiate experience, is different from the one that I first had when I was 15 years old. I went to Oxford University. It did prepare me or give me a sense of what college would be like in terms of having a looser schedule. It's more on you to do your work. It's not, I guess as high school teachers would put it, hand-holdy. You know, there's not someone hounding you if you don't do your work. That's on you. It's up to you to study. It's up to you to understand the material, which is fair. I'm a person who's very straightforward, or I like to think so. So my inclination to college is basically show up, understand. If I don't have a question to ask, if I study on my own time. But I try and absorb my information best through lectures, or through proper demonstration from a professor or instructor.
Makonnen, what was it like going to Oxford University for the summer of 2000? What year was that, 14?
That was 2014.
And staying on campus at Oxford. What was that like?
It was a great experience. It was my first, I guess my only time, now that I think about it, away from home for school, because technically I'm staying at home now.
So you commute to Bowie?
Yes, I do. I commute from Upper Marlboro to Bowie. That's about 25 to half an hour, depending on traffic.
That experience is different from your sisters who stayed on campus?
That is true. She went to University of Maryland Eastern Shore, which is about 2 hours from where we live in Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Okay.
And Princess Anne.
Yeah.
So it was a different experience. It did give me freedom at a younger age, as well as having me experience England. That was my first time in England. That was my first time to Europe. The program, I'm very thankful for the program. It taught us a lot about not only our subjects that we were studying. I was going there initially for creative writing. It taught us about the history of Oxford College as a whole. We went to St. Mary's College. We were privy to some parts of the university that only students or even higher officials within the university are privy to. We had a mock trial debate. We were taken to Eton College, which has some of the oldest classrooms in the world that are still active. We also went to London. We went to the Globe. We saw Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. It was a great abundance of experiences that I'm very thankful for. For the remainder of the month, I stayed with family that we have over there.
How come we have family in England, Mickey?
So both of my parents are from the Caribbean, Dominica, which is a commonwealth. It was originally owned by the British as a colony. So in light of that relationship to England, my father's family member, Uncle Johnson, he went, as well as a few others, even his own father's, was it sisters, I believe, went to Scotland?
Yeah, so your paternal grandfather's, that is, Grandpa Christian his sister went to Scotland, Auntie Ruby, who
Right.
turned 100 last year, and your maternal grandmother,
Yes.
Alberta John Baptist, her brothers all went to England.
Right, that's right.
Every single one of her full brothers. She had full brothers, 3. Uncle Johnson, who's the youngest, Uncle Washington, who's the middle, and Uncle Ambrose was the oldest. Uncle Ambrose has passed away.
Yes.
And you stayed with your cousin, your second cousin.
Yeah, I stayed with cousins Janet and Catherine,
That's right.
both of them, and Avro
Yeah.
for a shorter amount of time.
Yes, yes. And what was it like living in England with them for a short time?
So the family member that I stayed with the longest was Uncle Johnson. We talked about his initial coming to England and how he worked as a miner for many years.
He worked in the mines in Nottinghamshire.
Yes, he did. We talked about that, but mostly it was a good opportunity to spend time with family. My other cousin's daughter, her firstborn Ruby, was very young at the time, so we spent a good amount of our days watching her as well.
Yeah, that's Cousin Kelly.
Yes. And then Uncle Johnson took me to Sherwood Forest, the origin or birthplace of the character Robin Hood. He was a very good host, always tried to make sure I was entertained and well taken care of. I really cherished the time that I spent with him. The following week, I spent time with my cousins Catherine and Avril. Was her birthday, so we had a birthday celebration at the time. It was a good party, and it gave me a chance to meet family that I hadn't otherwise, or spend time with them that I'd only done very briefly before.
Great. Well, Mickey, we're very proud of you. So this is our development here.
Well, part of it.
Part of it. It's called Fox Chase. Tell us what it was like. Has been you were born in this development. Well, you've been
Living
here since your birth.
Yes.
What's it been like living in this area?
It's a very nice neighborhood. It's grown actually over the years. The area that we just showed is a newer part of the development. We live in the original part of it that's closer to Brown Station Road. It's a very nice neighborhood. Upper Marlborough itself is very quiet, very small town atmosphere. You get pretty intimate with neighbors. We're very blessed to have the neighbors and people around us that we do. They're very kind, very gracious, and we overall just try and keep a very positive lifestyle. As I believe, I'm very grateful to have the house and opportunities that I have growing up.
And where do you work now?
I
Part-time?
currently work part-time at Caribbean Cargo DC. That is a shipping company in Lanham that specializes in shipping to the Caribbean and some parts of South America.
And who is it owned by?
It's owned by Royston D'Souza and Ansel Hall.
Where's Royston D'Souza from?
He is from Guyana. He's Guyanese born. Mr. Hall is from Trinidad.
Okay, and how comes we know these people?
My father met them when he initially came to America as a student at a very young age. Actually, at my age now, when he was 20 years old, I believe. Then fostering that relationship over the years, he's now their official legal counsel. At the beginning of 2019, I was currently unemployed, and he put the word out that I was looking for work. So Mr. D'Souza was grateful enough to give me a position starting off as a contract employee, and now I'm permanent part-time, working office and helping with day-to-day activities.
What was it like initially when you would go out to the community to get barrels? What kind of introduction to that other aspect of life was that for you?
So it was my first time doing, I guess, more harder
Manual?
manual labor.
Yeah. Why was it
Manual.
manual? Tell me what you physically would be doing.
So on my first day, I was told that we open at 9, so to be there for 9, but I misheard, and I thought it was 8 o'clock. So I showed up at about 7:40 in the parking lot, no one there.
Stick a pin in that, Mickey. I just want to say one thing I've learned from you. You've been very punctual all your life. You're very disciplined when it comes to time. I wish I could say the same, but go ahead.
So my first day, I showed up at 7:40, bright and early for work. So I was there. It gave me about an hour and a half or so before daily activities started. He had me on the road assisting another worker, actually our driving supervisor, Adrian. He had me partner up with him so I can learn what it's like on the road. My first day I worked about 11 hours. It's the first time I had worked that long doing manual labor. only recently did I work that long at my previous job at T-Mobile as a sales associate. So on the road, you meet a lot of different people. You meet a lot of different people, mainly from the Caribbean. It made me realize just how large of a Caribbean population we actually do have in immediate Maryland. We're very close by. Of course, with my growing up and my background, I know that there's a lot of us, but it really gave me a chance to see just from how many different countries and how spread out we are, and it had me give a greater idea of, I guess, our residents here, our community here.
What was it like growing up in, give us your mother's name?
My mother's name is Joan Christian.
And what's her maiden name?
Robinson.
And where is she from?
She is from Dominica as well. Not Portsmouth.
It's by the airport.
It's by the airport?
Starts with an M.
Mariga.
Mariga.
Yes.
And what's your sister's name?
My sister's name is Samora Dominique Christian.
Why is the middle name Dominique?
Named after the island of my parents' birth.
And what was it like growing up in a home of Caribbean immigrants to the United States?
First, I'm very proud, as with many of my family, to be first generation. All of my first cousins are first generation. Almost all of our parents immigrated here from Dominica. We're all Dominican. Some of my cousins are Guyanese, right? But
Auntie June is from Guyana.
yes,
Yeah.
my cousins Kwame and Kobe. Very proud to be a first generation American citizen. The biggest thing imparted onto me by my parents and their coming to America, as I'm sure with all immigrant children, if not most, is work ethic. You come to the country hoping for a better life, hoping for better education, for job opportunities, or better status for your family as a whole. And for that, you have to work for it. You come to the country with very little, sometimes nothing for some people. And, my family has been fortunate enough to build good standing for themselves in many different aspects, going on to be doctors or lawyers, or owning their own businesses, or becoming, just hardworking people in their own right. And I've always been proud of that. Always given me a sense of culture outside of, just being African American. And I'm very, very proud and happy for that.
Well, Mickey, we're very proud of you. And we're here now at the time of the COVID-19 epidemic. What's it been like? Pandemic, as they call it.
So good morning.
Good morning.
So currently, everyone is we're out very early. I believe it is 8:28. We're out very early, just trying to get some fresh air. Everyone is currently under stay-at-home orders for the pandemic in order to minimize outbreak of the current illness that is COVID-19 or coronavirus, more commonly called in the media. It is a respiratory infection that luckily no one that we know of has been inflicted with, and we hope that continues. We hope everybody that is out there, since it's a global thing. Most major countries have been documented with multiple cases of it, so we do hope that everybody in the world over stays safe. We can minimize casualties as much as possible, and we hope that our government and world governments as a whole do what they can in order to eliminate or alleviate the infliction as soon as possible.
Thank you very much, Makonnen. I really want to let you know how much we appreciate you and your intelligence. What's your GPA now? What's your grade point average at Bowie State?
My grade point average is currently a 3.38, rounded to 3.4. Hopefully it'll rise by the end of the semester. That's what I'm working toward.
We're shooting for 4.0, Makonnen.
Yes, we are. Well, I still have a year left to get it up there.
That's right.
But being in the higher percentile is
Any particular books you're reading now you'd like to tell me?
Currently, I'm listening to Book on Tape, Wise Guys by Nicholas Pileggi. It is the book that inspired the Martin Scorsese film Goodfellas. It is shot in an interview style with the real-life Henry Hill and his wife, actually saying his personal journey through the mafia, as it were.
Yes, I know you and some more like mafia movies, but tell me about, you're a bit of an author yourself and some more.
Yes, and when I was 6 and my sister 9, we co-wrote the book, Our Visit to the Islands, a children's book, that was published by Punk Essay Press and illustrated by Michael A. Williams, who's a good family friend of ours for many years now. It's a book that my sister initially started, and it was detailing our first trip to our parents' home country of Dominica.
Okay. You want to send any love out to Dominica at this time of the COVID-19 pandemic?
I do. To all our family members and friends in Dominica, I hope you all are staying safe. I hope you all are keeping track of, going out and goings on, and washing your hands, just doing routine health procedures in order to keep yourselves well. And we love you, and we hope that everything continues to go as smoothly as possible.
Thank you, Makonnen. God bless you, son.
God bless you as well.